This is another project that ADB has invested about $682 million so far. And also to complement that, again, taking Turkmenistan's energy all the way to Pakistan, which is another member country of CARIC, is the TAP project. It's Turkmenistan, Afghanistan, Pakistan. It's another 2,000 megawatt transmission line that ADB so far has invested $150 million support. So these are sort of projects that not only, as I mentioned, facilitate energy transport, power transmission, but also connect people in these countries, create businesses, hubs. For example, in cities, let's say in Afghanistan, Balkh and Herat, these are industrial cities. There's security, there's investments. So create jobs, bring other players. So these types of regional projects have multiplier effects. That's why the investments of regional donors and countries are more focused on that. But despite the rapid development, which Dr. Starr and David pointed, countries in that region face significant challenges. The spillover impacts of global economy, financial crisis of lower oil and gas prices have been acute there in that region. Climate change, of course, added to that, is another major and global and regional challenge that Central Asia is not being affected by that. So these challenges do not respect borders, and that's why it underscores the value of working together to navigate the shifting development landscape in Central Asia. With this evolving situation that I gave the context, a CARIC program, which is this platform, needed a scaled-up mandate to become more effective and relevant to this rapidly evolving environment, and in the decade to come, and also to make it in line with the global development strategies. So therefore, CARIC, which ADP manages, launched CARIC 2030. That's the new strategy that focuses on 5 key areas, under which there are other sub-areas. One is economic and financial stability that these countries need, trade, tourism, and economic corridors, which ADB is hugely invested on, and infrastructure and economic connectivity, building roads, railways, and trade centers and hubs, agriculture and water, and also the more important among all of them is the human development, human capital, which, talking of Uzbekistan, ambassador sitting there, there's a huge ambition to transform the country. One key thing that is important in this transformation is changing the capacity of human capital, transforming them, and make them able to successfully implement this vision. So this is part of the new strategy that Asian Development Bank is working toward. We believe that regional cooperation cannot be achieved without with these basic building blocks of goods, roads, reliable power supplies, and the ability of businesses to seek new markets, infrastructures, and also integrate new technologies coupled with regulatory reform and accelerate the regional integration with global value chain and support the adoption of clean and renewable energy. That's another need. So across border tourism, value-added agriculture exports, educational exchanges have tremendously untapped potential in Central Asia, which some of them were also discussed in Wolfgang's report. But these cannot be unlocked through regional agenda, can only be unlocked through regional agenda where countries can work together and share expertise. That's what this platform, among others, are proposing to do and doing. Finally, development in Central Asia and Afghanistan will depend crucially on building capacities of its own people. Afghanistan, I mentioned Uzbekistan, Afghanistan suffered the same way. Enhancing people-to-people contacts, contacts will help deepen intra-regional understanding and increase and personal mobility. Dr. Shah, also when we talked earlier last week, he mentioned, gave some example of your personal example when as someone coming from Afghanistan. When I travel to the region, when I see people coming, when I go to North, for example, I see people from Uzbekistan easily walking and driving and crossing the border and come to Mazar Sharif and then look at the market and trade and take carpets and take it back to Uzbekistan. Or when people go to Uzbekistan to assess the market and import stuff. This is real. You can see that how infrastructure connected not only the investment, but also people, how people enjoy interacting with each other, traveling easily, and how that has created optimism within that region. So therefore, the CACI platform will continue to promote business-to-business contacts among member countries for embedding regional cooperation in the national plans and priorities. Without private sector financing, the large investment requirement of the region cannot be met. You might have seen ADB's recent report on infrastructure needs in Asia. The ADB report estimates a need of $107 trillion per year until 2030 to maintain its growth and momentum and tackle poverty and respond to climate change. So you can see there is a lot of room for everyone to engage, more importantly, private sector to meet that target of $1.7 trillion every year to keep that region sustainable and keep the growth. In such a stakeholder framework, ensuring inclusion and effective coordination are also as important as the projects and the connectivity that we talk about. Therefore, to achieve this effective coordinated approach, the institutional arrangement under the platform is key to talk about. This the CACI platform that brings 350 stakeholders together has a very effective arrangement. It has a ministerial level conference which discusses policy issues and high-level decision body to make decision on the whole of region as a holistic approach. The second thing is the senior official meetings, which initiate and approve coordination and provide oversight. They are at the deputy minister levels and director general levels. From all these countries, they meet and they discuss the progress. And then there are subcommittee working group, technical people sit, and then they analyze and they work to implement the projects. So this is a very contextual based, effective, coordinated framework for implementation of this huge regional platform that's there. To support the ADB's new 2013 CAREX strategy, ADB has committed $5 billion in the next 5 years, and that these countries can benefit from this investment, and of course encourages ADB other investors and other players to join in. ADB has also recently approved a new $800 million multi-tranche financing facility for CACI growth corridor development in Pakistan, for example, that connects trade and transport from Central Asia, Afghanistan to Pakistan, and from Pakistan back to Afghanistan and Central Asia. ADB also facilitates the first phase of Turkmenistan, Afghanistan, Pakistan TAP, as I mentioned, transmission line projects, gave $150 million for that, and has already begun discussion for regional projects in agribusiness, tourism, and railway areas covered in this new strategy. So these are actual practical steps that have taken place to promote this idea and to catch up with the evolving, developing environment there. Based on Afghanistan's request, recently ADB confirmed providing $100 million grant for phase 1 of TAPI to cover Afghanistan's equity financing portion. So Afghanistan can start implementing. You witnessed the groundbreaking of TAPI in Afghanistan as the actual this project has been for over 2 decades, I remember, at least. And I have kept writing about it, hopefully that this will be implemented, and I was happy to see the groundbreaking. So Afghanistan is supported by ADB for this project. And one last important point I want to make is the impact of the infrastructure on people and their optimism and prosperity. According to the 2017 survey of the Afghan people conducted by the Asia Foundation last year in the area of country, in areas of the country where infrastructure projects have been implemented, the survey found that people are less likely to migrate to other places and more likely to support the government. So it creates more people to government and government to people support. It also, the survey has found that projects in education, programs in industry, and the construction of roads and bridges have the strongest relationship with respect to level of optimism with people that they benefit from these infrastructure. The implementation of the development and infrastructure projects were also found to have a positive relationship with security. So where there is infrastructure and there is trade, the security is better. If you look at, for example, Herat, you look at Mazar Sharif and other places. And last but not least, there was a statistically strong and positive relationship between infrastructure project and improvement in financial well-being and employment opportunities among local communities. So if you look at the broader framework all the way to the communities, these investments connected all together. There's an example of how investment in infrastructure connectivity increases, and hope this is an actual example. People, you don't hear it on the news more often. And finally, the unique challenges faced by landlocked countries, which David discussed some of them, can overcome to sustain support. And we encourage private sector to be involved, and also stronger links and with the global economy, and a sharp focus on education and more support for business can help these countries to realize the huge potential that Central Asia and Afghanistan has. ADB, of course, as one member of this one player, is committed to continue supporting these landlocked member countries and to trade, transport. It's open to work with all developing partners and a stakeholder in this endeavor. Of course, this is a broader project and program level discussion that I thought will complement the panel, but of course, if there are specific issues that during the Q&A anyone would like to raise, I'm happy to discuss that, or in person after the panel. I think I am within the time that you give me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rohullah.